the food system here in the Frogtown and Rondo community has a pretty long-standing tradition and history. So Mississippi Market and our Selby Dale store here opened up in 1991. So we've been around here for quite a while. We're really honored to be following in the footsteps of the Crejafon Food Co-op, which Crejafon was a social institution, one of the earliest African-American social institutions here in the Twin Cities. And really, Crejafon supported, youth sponsorships to a credit union that made loans out to the community. And then after World War II, they started a food co-op, so just a couple blocks from here. So Mississippi Market is just honored to be following in those footsteps. And then, fast forwarding to present day, we have the Frogtown Farm. They were one of Mississippi Market's positive change recipients too. So similar to Hallie Q. Brown, we rounded up all of our shoppers, over 30,000 different people made donations. I think that total is around $10,000. That was at the beginning of Frogtown Farm when they were able to get their organic certification and sell products for us to sell here in the store. So kind of, I think it's less than a mile away is Frogtown. So being able to have that urban food center, getting food directly from our local farmers right here in Frogtown Rondo, and then selling here to our shoppers at the co-op.
Hey, I'm out here sharing stories about the food ecosystem of Frogtown and Rondo. I am excited. I am blessed to share stories on Selby that impacts us. So, just had a wonderful interview at Mississippi Co-op. Can't wait to share it with you all. Can't wait to share.
What's needed in this community to create greater access to healthy food, I think are more organizations, more businesses selling food, growing food, and connecting. We have some incredible partners, an incredible start here in Rondo and Frogtown. We have the co-op here as kind of an anchor institution and grocery store. We have Hallie Q. Brown, who has been around forever and does incredible work. We have Frogtown Farm that's popped up, right? But we need to build on this ecosystem to create more food access. Really, with the co-op, we believe healthy food should be accessible and affordable for everyone, but we also recognize that when you're facing food insecurity, a lot of those barriers, right, to access food, to come into the store, to buy your groceries each day can be monumental, and COVID-19 has not helped that. Some of the, ways we're addressing that, or, looking at the barriers to break down and make sure all our neighbors can come in, is offering SNAP and WIC at all our stores. We have co-op basics items, so it's 400 items that are like your everyday affordable rice, milk, eggs, things just to get food on the table. We have healthy budget cooking classes, so every month online for free. So it's, again, looking at like those educational skills and building blocks to be able to cook from scratch, cook those healthy, fresh foods, and make sure we can incorporate those in our diets, as a piece of the puzzle. So it's, yes, accessing the food, and then the education piece of knowing what to do with it so we can create those kind of healthy, fresh, home-cooked meals.
Hi, I'm Dawn Sully, the Director of External Affairs and Development for Hallie Q. Brown Community Center. We are 92 years old. We are a part of the Rondo neighborhood. We have been the lighthouse of the community all of those years. I will talk a little bit about our partnerships. One of our big partners is Mississippi Market. We recently were their roundup in their store, and they were able to help us with a generous donation that has helped our community, that helps us buy fresh fruits and vegetables. It helps us get more items that are needed in the community.
The fruits and vegetables that we receive are one of the biggest successes for our families. They will call weekly to find out if we have what they're looking for, whether it's carrots, squash, different fruits, kiwi, bananas. Those are some of the successes that we share, and we enjoy watching, because we see our families looking for healthy meals, looking for fresh fruits and vegetables that otherwise will not be able to afford at the grocery store because they're a little bit expensive, so in their mind they come to Hallie Q. Brown Fresh Store and they pick out what they need for that day or for that week.
I was in Mississippi Market shopping, And I saw one of our volunteers that had volunteered here for a very long time, and I know he was also one of our clients. And I asked him what he was doing. He goes, well, we didn't have any fresh fruits and vegetables that day at Hallie. They went out to all the clients and he didn't want to take in, so he was purchasing his own fresh fruits and vegetables from Mississippi Market. But he saves his money for that. That's what he does. We at Hallie Q. Brown Community Center, right off of 94 and Dale, we are in a food desert.
Yes.
There is no food around us except for Mississippi Market. And a lot of our clients and our families cannot afford those prices. They have programs to help. But when you're convenience, trying to get things ready as, a single parent or multiple children, and this past year with COVID-19, distance learning, things really changed. We had a lot of families, the kids were home all day long and needed snacks, needed food. Another partner of ours was you.
I think that there's this buzz term that goes around about food deserts. And I had a contradicting idea where it's not necessarily a food desert, more of like a food swamp, where there's some food that's in there, but it's not the greatest. So you see lots of fast food restaurants. A lot of the smaller businesses like Lee and D's, they're gone, So when you're stuck with Popeyes, White Castle, McDonald's, we see those a lot in places where, we see communities who are affected by poverty, but it's still kind of like fast food, it's restaurant kind of stuff. So one thing that we're doing at Frogtown is we're trying to grow food. So utilizing vacant lots, we built some garden beds up and figuring what we can grow an abundance of to feed a lot of people. So greens, cucumbers, peppers, those kind of things.
I would like to order fries and a biscuit, please. No, thank you.
Urban Farm, it started about officially 2014. However, the growing the food in the Rondo neighborhood started decades ago with a group called SAGE, Selby Avenue Gardeners Enthusiasms. And at that time, my brother Medrick was part of that. And they worked with Rondo Land Trust quite a bit, where there was an empty lot. Before they moved the house on it, they would do some gardening. The space we're in, there used to be a home here. It burned down. When it became just a lot, some folks in the community started growing food. And they started noticing certain things.
How I define the food system in Frogtown and Rondo is it's not that there's an insecurity. We definitely have food in our neighborhood. The aspect of healthy food and an understanding of the knowledge there. What is healthy food? How do we engage with healthy and unhealthy foods in our communities and our families? One thing that I would really like the food system in Frogtown and Rondo to emphasize on in the coming years, and I hope that UFGA can do this as well, is to connect with our local restaurants and local grocery stores and help connect folks with the knowledge of growing and harvesting.
Land use is a big part of that. If we take, for example, this big plot of land that's behind me, this is an area in our city that is getting ready to be developed right now. So pretty soon we may see a 6-story apartment building here, but there's a couple of acres that we're working with. This could very literally be an urban farm, And so when we're talking about what our community needs and what we could be developing in order to address those needs, sometimes it isn't always housing, We want to keep people in place. If we weren't steadily pushing people out, maybe we might not have to build so much. So there's a preservation aspect to that too. But even maintaining green space is something that we have to figure out. Where is the balance? Because nature is just as important as the buildings that we are developing as well. So yeah, just determining what is important and what is going to help the community members and who gets to make those decisions. It's a big part of what we see in development.
You know, for us, a dream would be that a produce company would say, you know what, we're gonna supply this for you guys every Tuesday. You don't have to pay for it. You can put it out there in your tent and you know that you will have fresh fruits and vegetables that fit to your community, not things that we think you deserve. And that is what we need more of in different parts of the cities, not just over here, but over in the Frogtown area. We need to have it that for all of us that are supplying these goods to the community, that we are not trying to go into debt to afford them, to bring them into the community. Because we never want to put that, we have to put a price on this corn, on these onions. So we need more free pop-up fruit stands, vegetable stands. And I want them to look like they would if they were in Mississippi Market, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Cub Foods. That's what we want in these communities. I want to say, hey, come back and film our clients and our kids taking vegetables home on a Tuesday afternoon.
These are families that would not be able to have food or cleaning supplies or hand sanitizer or gloves, PPE, essential needs for the families. And we were able to deliver them to their homes. And that's just one of those things that I guess that's what makes us all a part of the community and family.
The Urban Farm, we have about 8 to 10 community gardening sites, plus backyard gardeners. Our goal and mission is just to promote social justice, environmental justice, and to help people to reclaim growing food, eating healthy, and we just want to green the world a little bit more. And for sure, when we talk about growing food, we also are talking about growing wealth and growing people. One thing we have to do so is keep remembering our history, even if that history is 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, or 50 years ago. In this neighborhood, they used to have a black co-op. Rondo used to just be thriving.
The thing that gets overlooked is our mental health. And I mean, food has a lot to do with that, what we're putting into our body, and how we can manage stress. So I feel like if we had a more healthy community, we would have more capacity to deal with some of these pressing issues. And so sometimes I think just with like rolling with everyday life, the stress and the mental health issues that comes with, I think that gets in the way of just even being able to be organized and come together and thinking of what it is that we can do.
It's a lot of income to just eat right. You know, it takes a lot of income to get fruits, healthy stuff to keep us healthy. So yes, we do live in a food desert and it gets very irritating. I run from place to place taking people food on a continuum, and wherever they're giving away food, that's where I go. And I take this food back to them because people don't have transportation to get the food or to bring it back to their home. So we're in a deficit right now in reference to food. And the cost of food is tremendous.
What needs to be done to change that?
I think that the community needs to own the process. I think not only teaching us how to garden, but also how to store food for the winter months, canned food for the winter months. Those are the kind of things I think that needs to happen, that need to be taught in our community. Those are things that we were taught as children, How do we pick green beans? How do you pick collard greens? How do you pick cabbage? You know what I'm saying? Those are the kind of things that don't happen much in our community. That was a part of the kids' regular way of doing things. You know, it was a part of a process. It was a part of a program. It was part of what it is that they wanted to teach us so that we could have something for the future.
Wow, this is delicious. And this is sorrel. Sorrel. This has a flavor that you wouldn't believe is packed in this leaf. It's sweet. It definitely has a zing taste to it. It's almost like eating a grape, like not a sour grape, but like a sweet grape. After like chewing it enough, it has that flavor. Wow, this is amazing. See, I grew up in Chicago, moved here, and I've never experienced like eating directly, you know, from the land like this. You know, I have a little plot at my house, but it's like, wow, I'm like in a park, you know, an urban farm. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is food. This is life. This is energy. Wow, this is beautiful. Thank you. This made my day. This really made my day.
All right.
Wow. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm the manager at Montown Marketplace. The Montown Marketplace provides fresh food to the Frogtown Rondo community by being an outlet for local farmers to provide that type of service, to provide local fresh food for the community. A lot of the farmers rent plots of lands in northern Minnesota or eastern Minnesota, and they grow these wonderful vegetables. And a lot of people tell me Hmong farmers are one of the best farmers out there because they've done it all their lives. And so they provide high quality fresh food, and we just serve as an outlet to the community where they can get that.
Why do you feel like there's not more restaurants that reflect this community?
The costs involved with a restaurant, again, on a small kitchen design can run you $200,000. Once it's all complete, you know, with the hood and grease duct and all, and flooring and the amenities needed through and the finishes needed through the health department, really drive the costs up. Not per se the health department, but the things you have to do to make it to code. And that's just the kitchen. That doesn't include furniture or front of the house, decor, ambiance, if you will. So in our black communities, if you will, it really puts it out of reach in many instances. There's plenty of money out there right now for housing, but there's no money out there right now for startup businesses and new businesses. So again, going back to the CDCs, those are the organizations, nonprofits or so, that can help you overcome that. But again, it's still the expense of putting something together and going also to the steps in order to make your business idea viable. Make sure that the food you put out is what people really want, and doing the taste tests and all that. So there's so much involved in the patience you have to be. It's not a home run overnight per se. And if you really care about, you know, your customer base, like we do, we don't want to focus on a lot of heavily fried foods and all. You know, we want to do fresh foods and foods that sauteed and grilled, if you will. So that is our focus, more with a culturally more sensitive palate.
The Montown Marketplace, because we're I don't want to say we serve just one community, but over the years it has grown into a bigger immigrant community. So there are a lot of foods that we have, or produce that we have, that you won't necessarily find in the mainstream stores like Target or Walmart. So that, in a sense, that covers a little bit of disparity between what we're able to provide for our community as that's almost like a niche market, that a lot of immigrants probably look for that they otherwise wouldn't find at Target or Walmart. So it's a very open field here. We don't discourage people from trying out new things. In fact, we want people to come and experience the culture. That's why the Mountain Marketplace, every year we throw a festival out in front of Como Avenue. We close it down. So and there's no admission fee, no nothing. It's a way to let people know, hey, come in and experience this yourself. Come enjoy the culture, come enjoy the food.
We hope to, and this is on me to do my outreach to Frogtown Farms, if you will, from our own community for our vegetables, our community gardens, to reach out to them and purchase our produce from them initially. That is something I would really like to see. I would also like to see those entities, if you will, come together and put something together called something like Green Acres, where all the folks can go and buy produce, have their own community farm, if you will, just like going downtown to the farmer's market. We would have our own community farm, but also growing that business, an idea to grow around the year. Put in greenhouses where produce could be, hydroponics where produce can be grown. Cutting edge, push that envelope of creativeness in what we need to do. One of the things I think that the United States have really become antiquated and in its way of thinking, and we're not pushing that envelope to be creative and smart as we were years ago. We become what I feel is pencil pushers, pushing papers and making investments on paper, but really not in our own communities. So that is something I would like somebody to do, and take the produce and let's create our own salad dressings, that are healthy and that are natural, and show our kids what it's like to get their fingers dirty and do a little work in the sun and builds character to them, but to see the end result of something that they've grown from a sprout to something that they can pick and or sell, bring the golden time and we would purchase. And so things like that we would like to really focus on as well as we move forward.
We are Feeding a Dream. This is my sister's organization, and I am the president of the organization. We work together. We like to try to help and feed the community here in St. Paul, in the Frogtown area. We have a lot of different things. A lot of the times we do stuff for different holiday events coming. We do it like a week before the holiday so that we can be able to give stuff so the families can have things. They ain't got to stress themselves out but just spend all their money to have a holiday meal. We try to provide that for them. And as well, we also do basic needs. So we have a shelf. I call it the shelf because it's food, and then there's soap, and then there's everything else there. So we try to help with basic need items: toilet paper, soap, laundry detergent. And we also still have basic needs shelf stable food that they can come and grab that, and they make appointments with that. Our mission is really to try to remove the stigma of shame around needing food or anything. We want to be able to provide for the community, give them the things that they need. And what do you think about that, sis?
Well, I think for me, the main focus is kindness and letting people know that there's someone out there that really cares, and healthy food is a right, not a privilege. And I don't believe that we should be paying as much as we pay for food, so I like to provide food things that are healthy, nutritious, and taste good to community.
I totally agree, and I think that a lot of the community members appreciate it. They just be so happy that when we have these fresh fruits and vegetables and things like that. We have so many youth that come and help and volunteer from the different churches. We have a lot of different collaborators, St. Stephen's Church, St. Paul Fellowship Church, and the Brownstones. Yeah, we've had some really great collaborators to help us get this going. throughout the pandemic. So we have been very thankful, and we're happy to serve and take care of our community, give them the fresh vegetables that they need, you know, to fulfill and they deserve, right?
My name is Philip Prospers. I'm the director of the food system of Frogtown and Rondo. Thank you so much for spending time to watch this. I hope you learned something. I hope that you can go home and share this with your family, share this with your neighbors. I did this documentary because I'm learning about food justice. I think it's important for every community, especially Frogtown and Rondo. Rondo has a great history in Minnesota that was taken away from the residents here for generational wealth. With generational wealth comes health, and with health comes peace in our community, more people owning businesses. And this was what brings me to the crux of this issue. We have a food system that has a lot of fast food restaurants, Wendy's, we got Hook. We have corner stores that is bulk. You can buy a lot of goods, but is it nutritious? Is it healthy? We have another restaurant over there, a few more, and we have also a lot of urban farms. And how are we communicating with each other so the urban farms can supply these places with their produce? And then when you dig into that, how can we also create businesses that will sell to the needs of the community? People want fresh fruit, they want cold pressed juices, they want healthier options. And I think with the more incentivized approach from our elected officials, from donors, I think this community could give birth to a lot of great businesses like cafes, plant-based grocery stores, juice bars, different types of corner stores that is different from what we see right now in this community. We need more businesses and organizations that's teaching individuals how to grow food, like Urban Garden, which is an incredible organization of Frogtown Farm. But we need to incentivize these and put dollars behind these organizations so they can do greater outreach in this community, in these communities. I moved to Frogtown in 2008, and it's the same community, the same story, where the health disparities are high, the poverty is high, and we all want a difference. We're all looking for a change. So I'm looking for you to spread the message that change is coming. And you can do something. You can talk to your elected officials. You can get motivated. You can get aggravated. You can learn. You can open up a business. You can save. You can invest. You can invest in another business that's looking to do the work to address the health disparities. Everyone deserves healthy food. Everyone deserves a healthy body and a healthy mind. This is not good enough. This is not good enough. It's not good enough. And I want you to take away those words. It's not good enough for us. Thank you for watching this documentary. Thank you for everyone that took out their time for me to interview them. Live long, be healthy, think positive. I love you, and my name is Phil Prospers. Thank you so much.